What is up guys? In this video today, what I'm going to be doing is reviewing episode 2 of the amazing Netflix documentary, The Playbook. This documentary looks into 5 different amazing legendary coaches of different sports, different abilities, different genders, and showcases their career successes, their career failures, and multiple things in which they've done towards getting to the success level that they did and have got to. And so in this episode, I'll be looking into episode 2, which is about Jill Ellis, the amazing former USA women's head coach. So without further ado, let's get into it. So what's up guys, my name is Philip and I'm a sports psychology consultant, and in episode 2 it was really great to see that this episode was on a different sport. It was on a sport of soccer or football, how we call it here, but it was really great to just not only see football but a unique perspective of that through the women's side of the sport, and not only the women's side but then the international side of the women's side. So it was really great to kind of see a unique perspective and a unique story about coaching within football. And so one thing I really like about just the women's game of football in general, I really feel that they put a lot more emphasis and a lot more detail on the technical and tactical aspects of the sport. I feel instead of just relying on their physical attributes of just running faster than their opponents or just jumping higher than them to score their goals, they really place a lot more emphasis on this technique and on this tactic in which they do in training and which they do and adjust within matches for them to actually win the matches. And so I really like that about the women's sport. So Jill Ellis, former USA football coach, has an amazing legendary resume, winning the World Cup multiple years, which only a few people can ever say they even won one, let alone 2. She's had multiple Coach of the Year awards, so she's well respected within women's football. And one thing I really like about her, and one thing I was really fascinated about within this episode, is the whole aspect of just people who consistently win. I've really just been fascinated about how individuals not only get to that mountaintop, but then stay there for a consistent amount of time. Everyone always has motivation to kind of get there and get to, whether it's being a world champion, winning whatever match, winning whatever cup, but then not a lot of people go into detail about how to kind of maintain that high level of performance over multiple years. So I was really looking forward to this episode and just diving more into that. And so what Jill Ellis's 5 rules that she kind of lives by as a coach, they are: mountaintops are small and the air is thin, hold fast, stay true, risk is an opportunity, be true to yourself, if you want to be heard, make a statement. And so within these 5 different coaching rules that she kind of lives by as a coach, you can really see these painted throughout her coaching career, as she's a very adventurous coach. She's very bold, and from a sports psychology perspective, that level and that aspect of being adventurous and bold really equates to having a lot of confidence.
I think it's important that our team has confidence. I don't think in any way this is an arrogant team. I think this team knows that they've got to earn everything, that we've got tough opponents, as we played the other night, still ahead of us, and we have to earn every right to advance in this tournament.
Confidence in her ability not only to make big decisions, but to make big and long-term decisions and navigate through those decisions when things aren't going her way. You can always tell with situations when you do make big decisions, at the start there's an area of kind of it being uncomfortable, it being people still transitioning, and within that area a lot of people sometimes backlash to the coach or to different players, and sometimes it can be very negative within that time. It just means that more time is really needed towards developing into the decision being a positive. And so within her role within the USA team, she made big decisions within her career, really bringing in a lot of younger new players and really kind of changing their playing style when things weren't going their way. And once she made that change, there was a lot of backlash. She was getting roasted from so many different media outlets for quite a bit of time. But then as things started to progress, as more things started to kind of change and develop, that once uncomfortable kind of period of making a decision turned into it being an amazing, really great decision, and then leading her into the success that she did experience. And so the documentary did talk a bit about how she developed that confidence, and it was seen through more of her personal life, through coming out to her friends and family and to her teammates, and that level of confidence of the reception that she got from that, which was really positive, that really helped her be more bold and really show those different rules within her coaching style. And so not only that came from her confidence, but then also seeing her dad being a former coach, and the amount of years that he spent coaching, she really kind of just soaked all of that in, was like a sponge, and that really helped her develop a coaching confidence for when she did get these opportunities towards the USA team as well as the UCLA team as well. And so one thing I really did like about this episode is that they did bring to light a lot of issues in which women's football are facing, and they are continually trying to keep this at the forefront. And so one thing they did go into detail about was the whole gender pay gap within the sport, and detailing why women's football play at a high consistent level, the same as men's football, and so they should be given the same amount of opportunities and given the same amount of pay as the men get, and they feel that that's what they deserve. And so that was really a forefront within this episode. And for me as a sports psychologist, maybe it's just me personally, but I really wanted them, and I really wished that within the episode that they went into a bit more detail about the big changes which Jill was making within her kind of coaching years. And so they talked a little bit about it with the big decision of bringing in more younger players and changing their playing style, but then they didn't really go into detail as to what happened on like a week by week or month by month basis, and how her tactics really changed from game to game towards progressing to that playing style that she really wanted. They didn't really go into more detail around her whole coaching side on the field. It more looked at her coaching and how things off the field impacted her on the field. And so that would have been great to kind of learn more about, and how she kind of developed a whole structure and system towards consistent football success. But then apart from that, there's not a lot of complaints from me. It was really great to just gain more information about her, coaching kind of career, how she really developed, how she got to the level that she got to, and how she kind of consistently stayed there and then ultimately kind of resigned. And so that was really good and really interesting to kind of see it from the sport of football perspective. And so within the documentary, they look at different sports. And so if you haven't seen episode 1 of my breakdown, go check that out. That is episode 1, looking at Doc Rivers, the amazing coach, which now isn't the coach of the Clippers and now Philadelphia 76ers. So really look into that episode and see whether it'll be interesting to see whether some coaching things that I said within that video, whether that's going to apply now to his new coaching job. But thank you for watching. Subscribe for more content just like this, sports psychology and anime content, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.